Friday, Latane.
Friday.
Another great week of Coffee Talk. It's, I keep waiting, and I don't really want this to happen, but I keep waiting for us to have a lull week where we're like, yeah, that was good content.
It's not the lull week.
No, there's no lull week. There's no, and every week, I think it's just, and it's the people that attend that just have such great experiences, great things to share. We asked this week for some product-driven marketing best practices. We got some of those. We got some cautionary tales, which I think sometimes are just as good as the best practices. But some really great insights today.
So I felt like Kevin, when he started describing it to me, I had this aha, because product-led growth, I guess I had sort of been boxing into a free trial. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's a free trial.
Yeah.
And what I loved about the way he described it is he said, think of it as being able to allow people to experience your product.
Snacks.
And that was like, my mind is blown. I now, let's put a product snack here and there. And that really helped me unpack and digest, and also start to say, well, gosh, we have some of that and we can do more of that. It made it a lot more, I think, approachable as a strategy than thinking it has to be a trial. Although I know that is a really successful model as well for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, it is. And I think that, there's a lot of different ways to package it. Is it a trial? Is it sort of a freemium version? Are you packaging it based on the time you get with the product? Is it based on limited features or a limited number of uses of the product? But there were some really great companies that were shared that are doing some really great work on this today. I think Smartsheet doing a really great job. Miro, in terms of doing sort of visual planning, doing a really nice job. I thought Sarah Larson from Bright Cove really gave some good advice too around making sure that if you're going to do product-led growth, if you're going to have some of those smaller sort of those light SKUs, those snacks, it has to be a complete go-to-market motion, not just a marketing initiative. Like if product just throws something out and it isn't supported by some customer success strategy, if it isn't thought of as sort of a separate SKU with the right support behind it, it's probably not going to be as successful.
Yeah, and I also liked, and we almost came full circle to last week, which was all about, insights and how you got to invest in customer insights. And so, Kevin shared, hey, we zoomed out and we saw these inflection point moments, like when someone is searching for a product HR handbook, they're probably getting more serious about HR.
Correct.
And they're one baby step away from needing a solution. So that was our snack. Here's the handbook. And I'm like, And then, the benefits compare. They start wanting to compare benefits. So it's really like understanding those, he called them like trigger moments, and then providing something valuable that gets them value with your brand.
Well, are those intent signals, Latane? You think about sort of what someone's doing with your marketing, what someone's doing with your content, but what about with your product itself? Like you think about those tools where you want to sell an enterprise agreement, you want an enterprise license for a product, but maybe you start with small groups of people using that product, whether they're paying for it or not paying for it. If you get to a certain number of seats, even if it's 20 people buying 20 seats, you can show the company there's evidence of a groundswell of interest within the company and show them how they can save money, have better control the IT environment if they were taking advantage of that holistically, right? And so we talk a lot about buying committees. We talk a lot about buying roles. You mentioned Brent Adamson's really some great work about, the buying jobs. Those individual end users who may not have buying power could be a source could be a catalyst of internal consensus building if there's interest in your product from the get-go.
Yeah, it's like usage qualified account.
Yeah,
I just made that up.
Well, we did get a little punchy towards the end. We started, are you going to now have marketing qualified leads, product qualified leads? Are you going to give the product team credit if they actually create that? Look, I don't, whatever it takes, right? I think this is what's inherently interesting about product-led growth is if you can create a product, if you can create a go-to-market strategy within the product itself that gives you those intent signals. Like, I don't think sales is going away. I don't think marketing is going away. But if the product itself gives you some of those signals, if you can track the snackage within your organization, whether you're making money at the beginning or not, I mean, we're spending money on marketing to get the sale anyway. You know what? $1 is $1. I'll spend it on product or marketing or sales to build a predictable pipeline.
But great cautionary tale. If you don't have the insights and you can't delineate what the upsell is, right? Yeah. What the difference between the freemium and the added features are. And that's not obvious to the user. And there's not a way to see what they're using. You're kind of going to be hosed. So that was a good cautionary tale too. Is
Definitely.
Just that granularity you've got to be prepared and ready for. Otherwise, you'll just have a lot of free customers, which I don't know if those are customers.
Well,
you have a lot of PQLs.
Well, I mean, it's a really good point, right? I mean, like, you could say, wow, look, we got all these people using our free version of our product. Are those people you can monetize, either directly or indirectly? Like, does their organization represent someone that you can sell an enterprise deal to? Are they someone that eventually, like, the company's small now, but they're expected to grow, and once they get bigger, then you can monetize them? Usage for usage sake isn't going to make you any money, right? And so there has to be
the fundamental ICP
revenue. The other thing that was pointed out, and Kevin pointed this out, and he's found some really great research that we'll post in the Slack and post in the Content Hub from McKinsey, indicated this rising ceiling of what people are willing to pay without talking to a salesperson, right? With doing a digital sale. And we think of those as sort of these smaller purchases and these sort of month-to-month purchases. I think the data showed people are willing to spend now up to $50,000.
No, 500.
500,000? Did I miss a zero?
The band was, I just texted this I had to read it. It was one of those things I had to read like 2 or 3 times. But 32% of B2B buyers are willing to spend $50,000 to $500,000 without talking to anybody on a credit card.
Yeah, and pro tip, if you set up Amex as a vendor, you don't have to go set up a new vendor for whoever you just bought it from as well.
We're not going to disclose who that pro tip is.
No, we're not. Absolutely not going to name names. But I think the point is that, whether or not, no matter what your credit card limit, you talk about sort of buyer enablement and buyer education and how far the buyer is willing to go on their own all the way to the end at a certain dollar figure. This is great news for marketing. This is great news for sales. This is great news for product-led growth companies who, no matter what that buying process looks like, and no matter how much the buyer is enabled, make no mistake, you still need to diagram that buying process. You still need to think about a way how you're managing what triggers you're looking for, what intent signals you're looking for, and how to respond, so that you've got a level of predictability and scalability into that model.
Yeah, and I took away, okay, you've got to dissect that journey and turn it into little micro snippets of value exchange. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I thought I forgot the company name, Murad. Thought that Miro example was good. It's like, and even like to get someone's email, like what are you giving them to get their email? And it better not be an ebook, right? Is it like, and then Kevin said, no, we get the company name so that we can put the logo in their custom handbook. Yep. So value for value, right? And, we want to know if they're already part of an organization when they sign up for Miro, so we can already map them to other people in the team. So it's like every time you ask for something, whether it's, trial or data or money, it's for an exchange in value. And I think just like dissecting all those little moments with that lens is pretty interesting.
Well, a lot of great feedback this morning. Definitely thank you to Kevin Marasco from Zenefits. Shared a ton of great insight, got a great detail. He's got a deck showing some of his best practices we'll have up on the hub. Sarah Larson from Bright Cove, Carrie Lou Dietrich, who is always bringing her game every Friday.
Yeah, she comes to play.
She does. She brings it. We had Andy Joels. We had Bertrand. We had, as usual, if you're a marketing leader and you're not part of this group, we highly encourage you to join. We've got one more Coffee Talk before the end of 2020. We've got an amazing set of plans. We've got some fun, new, exciting things planned for 2021. But get in here if you're not part of CMO Coffee Talk. Message or email Latane or I will get you in. We'll get you into the Slack channel as well. And Latane, next week we're going to finish with a bang.
Finish with a bang. Christmas sweater, because I think mine's cool. I don't think it's ugly.
We have
Hanukkah
sweaters today, by the way. So like your holiday sweater, just bring it.
Bring it. And this was your idea, Matt. Tell us about Swipe File Friday.
Swipe File Friday. Very excited. Costumes, ugly sweaters, optional. Reindeer headgear, whatever you want to do. But we decided at the end of the year, we're going to have some fun. We're going to just share and steal from each other. So we're going to have people bringing some of their best practices from the year. We're going to have people bringing some of their greatest insights. It's going to be things they've done with events, tiny things they did to increase response from subject lines, big and small. We're going to use that to launch the new Swipe File folder in the Slack channel as well. So just excited to just get together, share ideas, have some fun, and finish the year right.
All right. We'll see everybody next week.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.